And hello, everyone, and welcome to this talk, really important talk about forgiveness and what I like to call releasing. And really, forgiveness is one of the most truly difficult factors of moving forward, right? It's not just the act of forgiving, though. It's the thought of, letting a person that broke your heart and did all those terrible things, just letting them off the hook. And that's not what we're doing. We're not letting them off the hook. The energy of hurt, of that resentment, it turns, eventually turns into some sort of bitterness, right? And having been through 3 abusive relationships in my life, the thought back then, the thought of forgiving my abusive ex, it was just not going to happen. Like, why let him off the hook? That's what I felt anyway. And I really want you to know that when you keep the energy of unforgiveness or anger and hurt, you are still tied to your ex energetically. You might have moved on physically, and you might even be in a new relationship, but your ex is still tied to you energetically. Now, growing up, I was given lots of various messages, as most of us, about what to do when someone wrongs you. Turn the other cheek. Forgive and forget, right? Can you think of any of the advice that you've been given over the years as a young person about forgiveness? Just share them in the comments, because we all have some message around forgiveness that just doesn't sit well with us. So just share them in the comments. But it wears really thin, and basically we feel that it sends a message that, you can shit all over me and I'll just allow it, and I'll forgive and forget, and I'll turn the other cheek and just pretend it never happened, and we'll both go on our merry way, right? And I think part of this messaging about the forgiveness thing and all that is just about being a good girl, and good girls don't get angry, and good girls just forgive and forget. And I think that's really part of the issue here with our being able to release some of the stuff that's going on for us. So can you think of any messages that you've received throughout your life that have you believing that being angry is wrong? So we also need to really attend to our anger and attend to our rage long before we can release the person from our lives. And I like to use the word release rather than forgive, just because forgiveness can be quite a triggering word for a lot of us. So let's look at what forgiveness means. It means to pardon a person who has done wrong, or who has a debt with you, because they don't have the capacity to pay that debt. So that's the definition of forgiveness. And I think the difficulty comes when we have been in partnership with an abuser, and we go into this relationship fully trusting the sentiments, all the words and all the promises, and we kind of carry some expectation, right? And when the relationship ends, it becomes a real stuck point to move through the emotion of the anger and through to the release of that person from your energy. So if we acknowledge that this abusive person most likely does not have the capacity to pay their debt to us, which is what keeps us connected to each other, just like a lender and a borrower. So we really need to cut those ties so that we can move forward, cut our losses, and free up our energy field so that we can invest our energy elsewhere. So we need to be able to release that person from us. And if we just think about this for a moment, this has just been such a freeing perspective that I like to see this, and it's really helped me, is if we just want to look at it for a moment, just like a lender and a borrower. And in some situations, when the borrower can no longer honor that loan, the lender decides to cut the losses and they pardon the debt, right? Have you heard that? To pardon the debt. Well, the person that did harm to you, they don't have the capacity to repay what they've done, even if they said sorry. In actual fact, no matter what they offer, it will never repay what debt they owe you, will it? So we can pardon their debt to us so that we are released and can cut ties with them and move on. Does that make sense? So how do we do it? So first we need to just allow ourselves to feel the anger, feel the rage, let it boil up, let it explode out of us. We need to allow it to rise within us and stop clenching down, clenching it in, holding it in, suppressing, which creates depression. So observe the anger in the body. It's okay to feel angry, just observe it. Where is it in your body? Accept that it's there without guilt, without shame, without being good or bad, right or wrong. And you might ask it, what do you want me to know? What message do you have for me? And whatever comes to mind, write that down. And now you might ask, what do you need from me? What we are doing is we're tending to our precious heart with compassion and love. And you might know some great tips for letting the pressure cooker lid off with the anger, like, I don't know, there's lots of, common ones like punching pillows, writing a letter full of explosive words and not sending it, write an impact statement out, and physically release the anger by doing things physically, like jumping up and down, skipping rope, stomping feet, beating the ground, yelling in your car when you're somewhere alone. Also, aside from releasing anger, just a side note about releasing trauma, have you tried body shaking? It's literally shaking your body for several minutes at a time. And you may feel an emotional release through this. I often use this method when I feel the tension building and I feel my emotions are stuck. It is a radical way to release, and it's amazing. And you also need to use other energetic methods for a full shift to get this effect. And if you want to know more about this, just message me. I'd love to connect with you and have a chat with you and help you resolve anything around trauma healing. Also, dancing helps in releasing the tension from trauma. Look, our issues live in our tissues. You might have heard that one before. So moving the body really helps in releasing the trauma from the tissues. And once you're feeling less of the anger and resentment and rage, and you've kind of released it and got a lot of that out, you can move into the releasing work of forgiveness. So let's do an energetic release now together. Why not? So just begin by taking some deep breaths. And with your powerful intention to let go, to release, and to be free, through the power of your own breath, you can repeat the statement after me. I release, I release. I break and shatter any walls, constraints, judgments, rules, and conditions that have held me back. I release any person in my energy field that I no longer want to be attached. I release any person who inflicted harm intentionally or unintentionally towards me, who kept me quiet and kept me away from my soul's calling. There are now no longer any barriers to stop me from this day forward. And so it is. Amen. Now inhale a deep breath, and we will turn our head to the left and shoot your breath through your left nostril like this. And energetically, that finalizes the cycle of trauma. And it may take several sessions of this. Whenever it arises, breathe into it, shoot one sharp breath out of your left nostril. And now, if you are finding that the obsessive thoughts continue, and they start to arise again, I want you to know that you can remind yourself that you have done the releasing. You know, sometimes we need to remind our minds, because if it's a thing that you've been doing for a long time, your brain's wired to be obsessive on those thoughts. So we need to, like, hey, wait, mind, I have done the work. I have done the releasing. I have released this person. And just remind your mind that it's done. It's over. It's behind you. Because you know what? It's a choice. It's a decision, and it is an intention. The obsessive thoughts can be also a sign that you're going to get amazing benefit from doing more inner child healing work as well. So just see my video last week on healing the inner child, or comment inner child healing video in the comments here, and I'll send it to you. So in the Sisters Rising program, we have, we move through the 5 channels to integrated energy healing and into the life of fulfillment. It's amazing stuff. Releasing work is really one of the main focus on healing. Our thoughts are all connected to our energy centers in the body, and our thoughts are just thoughts until we give them context. So forgiveness work is all connected to the heart chakra. And this is one of the 5 channels that I teach. And it is actually the 3rd channel. I call this channel the Promise Channel. And it is healed and cleared and opened through the releasing with self-compassion. It is also the channel where we celebrate the phenomenal woman that you truly are. And we get to invite and expand and even more love for ourselves. When we invite more love, we heal, right? And I would really love to invite you along to join me in the Sisters Rising program. And it starts on the 9th of January. And registration will close in 2 weeks. And I have only 5 spots left in this program. Now, listen, I do have to cap my numbers because I give a lot of myself to the women in this program. You get so much support from me. And it's a really beautiful community and tribe of women who are going through the same thing. We all want the same stuff. It's just super supportive. So I'm really determined that every single woman who joins my program rises with me. And also I need to make sure that I have the capacity to hold space for every individual who joins. So every woman who is broken, who's been abused, who's neglected herself along her caring roles in her life, needs the Sisters Rising program. We won't ever just heal the mind, the body, or the emotions, because healing is a full energetic shift. Once we shift the energy, we transform our life. And we don't generally get that from hoping. Hoping it will happen one day, giving it time, hoping the other person will change, or, you know, hoping they will move or leave home or any of those things, right? Hoping won't make it happen. And as a woman, we have a particular set of struggles and obstacles in our life just by being a woman when it comes to reaching the amazing heights in our life and achieving the life that you want. But you also have amazing gifts. We all have beautiful abilities and gifts that can transfer to all areas of our life, right? And if we learn how to clean and clear and open the energies and your superpowers, which you have, and abilities, you can reach incredible heights in your life and in your business and in your passions and in your visions in your life and in your dreams and your families and relationships. It just keeps going and going. We even raise the vibration of the whole planet. So we are here to live in our destined truth, to live to our most optimal potential, to live in our greatness, right? We're not here just to survive, girls. We're here to rise the vibration of the planet. We are born for it. And I know many of you have reached out to me telling me that, you know, you are ready for more and you want to make 2023 a great year and leave a lot of your past behind and a lot of the same shit, different day behind you, and you want to really step into your greatness. So if you want to find out more about the Sisters Rising program, please comment or private message me so we can have a chat privately and see if this is really for you. Well, thank you, amazing women, for joining me in this talk. I hope you got so much out of it. I know a lot of you have. It's been something that's been on my heart to share. And I will see you next time.